Hello, everyone. As the title implies, I'm here to give amet1980 a send-off. Now, he may have returned, but the username amet1980 is gone, and we'll deal with that in a moment. Patch Gabbiota, whose channel I will link down below, he once called doll snatch a force of nature, and I disagreed, saying doll snatch was too intelligent. amet1980, now, I'm calling him he because I don't know his gender in English. Well, masculine is the default, and I'm not saying that as a value judgment, I'm saying that from a linguistic standpoint. Because this motherfucker transcended silly little things like gender. Okay, that was a fucking force of nature. Alright? No matter what amet1980 was talking about, oh my god, he could bring hate. It didn't matter if he was expressing sympathy. He would find a way to slip in some hate in there for somebody. Okay, and once he got started, which, well, he was always started, oh my god, I mean, I would do things like reply, rutabaga, necktie, cheeseburger, car alarm, you know, and just wild shit. And he would just go on as if that meant something. Fucking, it was amazing. I mean, he required nothing other than his existence to wreak havoc. And it is such a shame in some ways that this is backing up. This is because his account has been terminated for DMCA violations. Which, given the shit he said in comments, oh my god, I'm amazed that it wasn't the DMCAs, that it was the DMCAs and not flags, community violations. My god, and violations is a good word, because when he showed up in your thread, damn, you knew you were going to have a couple days worth of comments showing up. Wow. And it's a tragic thing, because, you know, when you lose a brand, especially when it's a name with a number attached, the person showing up again, it's not the same, because they're vulnerable. You know they're vulnerable. You know they were someone else. And I was never really afraid of him, but I was just, you know, standing back and golf clapping because, damn, he bought the hate. But it just won't be the same. So it's the passing of an era. It's like, what will we do to fill this void? I'm sure we'll think of something. The internet will provide. But I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. It was, oh, the longest time I ever spent arguing with him was a couple days on something. And it was at that point, I think, that he dubbed me a creationist. And this is one of the fantastic things about Amet. It's like somebody taught him the English language, but only the hateful parts. It's like only the linguistic constructions that express disdain, disgust, and and he learned well. And what that meant is that everything he said, it's like words were repurposed into meanings that just had nothing fucking to do with reality and were attacks. They were all weapons. Crude, broken stone weapons, but heavy nonetheless. And he had boundless energy. And he would do things like the calling someone a creationist to mean making something up out of thin air. And I'm totally guessing there. I'm thinking that's what he meant. He might be using that the way I use magical thinker, but what a sociological creationist is, in actuality, I have no fucking idea, if there even is such a thing. But wow. I really, really love enemies like that. And he was an enemy to all things joyous. At least I'm just talking about his internet personality. But I really love enemies like that. There are people who really despise or dislike or decry the uncivil tone on YouTube. It's part of the cost of doing business. It is part of us being very, very limited human beings, very limited perspectives. Our brains don't always work right, and we can't even define what right is as far as how our brains are supposed to work. Quote unquote, supposed to. But what enemies do is remind us that no matter what, there are people out there that will say to us, fuck you, just to say fuck you to us. There are people out there who will say fuck you just to say it to someone. There are people out there who we will never, ever be able to convince of anything or repair relationships with. And why is all this a good thing, you're asking? Because it makes the people you can convince, the people that do say sane things to you, the people who do say wonderful things to you, the people who give you hugs and who you hug, it makes them all the more wonderful. It reminds you of the fragility of life and of consensus, and what a wonderful thing it is to have when you do have it. So, you will be missed, damn it. I suspect you will be back. I don't really care. Although, if you get on a roll again, feel free to come by because you're funny as hell. And thank you for your time and attention.